Our full review for the Bilstein 8112 DSA Plus Coilovers for 21 Plus Ford Broncos is live over on YouTube, and it's a banger. You should check it out. But with 3 hole adjusters on them, they can be a little tricky to set up, so let's talk about it. Yesterday, we talked about how to set these things up to ride great and handle spectacular on the street, but today, we're getting to the good stuff. For our lower speed, more technical trail testing, I set up the low speed compression to about 6 clicks in the rear, if I'm remembering correctly, and about 4 in the front. High speed compression was, I want to say, 2 or 3 clicks from full open, front and rear, and the same with JCO. The goal here was I did want to run a little bit more low speed compression in the rear to the front. Since this Bronco didn't have a rear sway bar and is IFS and solid rear axle, I was hoping that would cross jack some load and improve some articulation. I don't know if that's true, but it ended up working pretty well. I also still wanted to have a little bit of high speed compression and JCO in it, just in case I had to give it a little woo pow and bump up something. And everything felt great, at least to my taste. I want a setup that is communicative enough to let me know exactly what the grip levels in the vehicle is doing underneath me, but not so firm that it's bouncing me out of the seat. And I was able to achieve that, but I think a lot of you guys will want it a little softer than that. And well, if you check out the review, we were able to achieve that. Now, talking about our moderate speed fire road test, I brought low speed compression up to about 12 in the rear, 10 in the front. And then I want to say I was about 4 clicks in front and rear on high speed compression, just in case I found a hole that I wasn't expecting. And JCO was around the same spot. Again, without a rear sway bar, I had the rear low speed compression up just to get it to rotate a little bit better. And that was successful around corners. It did communicate a little bit at that 15 to 25 mile an hour range, but that was largely because I had those settings a little firmer because I was more concerned with limit handling than I think the average person would be. You could back off that low speed and high speed compression off a little bit, and I think they could be as comfortable as you'd ever want them to be. And really, it's all about setting them up for the speeds you want to go, and I think they could be set up for just about any speed and work great. Now, obviously, the high speed section is where these shocks really shined. I kept low speed in about the same spot, but I was about 2 clicks higher, about 2 or 3 clicks from full open on high speed compression and JCO, and they were able to do things that I just didn't think would be possible from a bolt-on shock, and certainly outperformed anything I've ever tested previously. I was able to clock about 65 miles an hour through a section of whoops that is a little bigger than what we normally run, and basically the shocks felt like they had more in them, even at those settings, but I was already flicking it sideways to get it slowed down in time before hitting the fence, and I knew we were getting to the limits of the other components connected to those shocks. So not only could you make them stiffer and go faster, but I wasn't able to find the limit even at those settings. And ultimately, I left them as they were on my drive home on the street, and it were more than comfortable enough for me. So really, even when you have them up set pretty firm, they'll still ride pretty cush on your ride home. But if you really want to see these shocks in action and get the full scoop, make sure to head over to YouTube and check out that full review.